wants to save money this brand new month? Back in a few seconds. Hi, this is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. I'd also like for you to think that help save time, effort, energy, and even once in a great while sanity. If you are brand new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are a veteran here, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're just dropping by to say hello, hello. By the way, there's a little button on the lower right-hand corner. If you are interested in subscribing, if you are on a laptop or a regular computer, all you have to do is tap it and you are there. Thank you so much. Hope everybody's doing well today. You know, it's a brand new month. I don't know about you, but I love new beginnings. Love the beginning of the week, like Sunday. Love, definitely, totally love the beginning of the month. It's a brand new slate, a clean start. Beautiful. We can make this month even better than the last month. Okay. We do have that power now. We really could do it. Okay. So here are some money saving ideas that I believe in, to the best of my knowledge, will help. Okay, if you're interested. So let's go over this. I mentioned this last month, and if you were paying attention to last month's habits, you know, it's very important for those that are brand new and just watching this for the first time. I had mentioned briefly about a month ago how important it is to examine our habits. Because sometimes our habits, no, actually all the time, our habits determine our outcome. And if we do something positive every day, it stands to reason to think that, especially after an accumulated amount of time, you are going to have a positive outcome. Okay. The same goes for negative things. If you're going to do negative things, no matter how small, they have an accumulative effect over a period of time. So the very important thing is to determine the repeat offenders. I'm going to call them the repeat offenders. The repeat offenders of unneeded expenses. Now, this show especially are for the people who believe they can't save. You feel like you can't save, you're on a treadmill, it never works out, whatever. Actually, very not true, and you can do it. It's just a matter of applying a method. If you are doing something that's leaking your wallet, imagine a wallet, any wallet, your wallet, that, let's pretend like the coins and the bills are just like seeping through like a little bit of a vapor effect. That's kind of like what happens when you perform unnecessary expenses. And we all know like the basic ones, but I am not crystal ball and I cannot go into your life and into your brain to know the really microscopic things that you particularly may be doing. This is something that only we as individuals can ascertain. Only we can figure that out. That's why it's really important to keep track of our habits. You might want to spend a whole month not changing your habits, but examining your habits. For example, you're trying to save money, but you find yourself eating out all the time. I'm not saying never eat out. That's not realistic. People are going to eat out. That's just the way it is for whatever the reason. But it is more realistic to think, well, do I have to eat out 10 times a month? Because even if you just eat out twice a week, I just went out 2 times last week. Well, that's fine. But did you do it 2 times a week, 4 weeks in a row? Then that's adding up, like cha-ching, the cash register's ringing, but not in your favor, okay? It's ringing in someone else's favor. So determine the repeat offenders of unnecessary expenses. I'm talking about the micro stuff that I can't even go over, that only you can determine. Have zero spend weekends this month. Did I say have zero spend weekends every single weekend this month? That's up to you. I would suggest instead of that, if you're not used to that, if you're scared of that, if you think you'll faint, if you're not going to spend, no. Start small. Anytime you're starting something new, we don't break habits, we replace habits. But if you could take just 2 simple weekends out of the entire month and not spend and like make a game out of it, and figure out other things to do other than spend, you're a winner chicken dinner. Seriously, for real and for true. So start small. Maybe this month you just want to try one no spend weekend. That's okay. It's a start. Maybe you want to try a no spend 2 times weekend this month. If you could do 2 weekends out of the month flexibly throughout the year, that's a lot of savings. Let's put it this way. There are 52 weeks in a year, right? Which suggests that there are 52 weekends in a year. So let's put it this way. Imagine you will have not spent money 26 weekends out of the year. Can you equate that with a calculator into your own personal savings to do other things with? Either actually save for a specific goal or put it away just for whatever the reason, but it's away. It is like far away. And you make a game out of it. That's really it. So try having at least one zero spend weekend this month. Okay, now let's get back to this individual week. We have 4 weeks in this month. Okay, 4 calendar weeks. I believe we do. Well, whatever. We have 4 weeks. Let's say we definitely have 4 weeks. Okay. During this month. Let's think per week. Can you possibly figure out a way? I know it might be asking much, but every case is different. Can you figure out a way to save something each week? To not buy something this week that will equate into savings. For example, if you could find a way to save or keep $10 in your pocket extra this week. I'm not talking about this month, I'm not talking about this year, this week. Brand new month, yes, but let's talk in weekly increments. So maybe week number 1 out of the month, you might have saved 10. Maybe week number 2, you could only have saved 3. Maybe week number 3, you scored and you were able to save 30. Get it? And by the end of the month, you will be astonished. And instead of being in the negative, scraping and scrapping, you will be ahead of the game. I love beginnings of the month. Okay. Next, cook with intention. What do I mean by cook with intention? Okay. More than likely, you're probably going to eat 7 dinners this week. This is just an example. 7 lunches, 7 dinners this week. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Breakfast, you can always just grab an apple or a yogurt and you're done. It doesn't have to be complicated, or an egg. Done. That's it for breakfast as far as I'm concerned. Or a piece of toast. That's simple. But lunch and dinner we'll focus on, okay? Here's my suggestion. When you go to the grocery store to go food shopping, she knows again, allergies, sorry. Instead of just thinking, I'm going to do a one-time only meal, no. Think in terms of, okay, I'm going to cook for 7 nights, 7 lunches, but I'm going to stretch that to duplicate. That meal will be duplicated and turned into 14. By doing that and adhering to that, because you want to and you want to make a fun game of it and it's a positive thing to do, you will have saved a ton of money, not to mention effort and time. Now, I did a separate video on batch cooking ideas, which depends on when I decide to upload. You might have seen it already, or you're going to see it real soon. But I believe in batch cooking. I like it. I think it's a nice thing to do if you enjoy doing things like that. So we'll get into that in that video. But why can't, if you're going to do the effort for 7 meals every day, stretch those somehow magically into 14. Take every time you cook it, get your food savers, put it away in your freezer. You know why? Life varies. Life is not the same every day. Life really is not cookie cutter. We might do certain things all the time every day, but we get faced with some surprises. For example, you might not feel well one day and you can't get to the grocery store, or the weather has gone crazy, or you get unexpected company. but you are ahead of the game because you have frozen meals ready to go. Frozen meals that you know what's in it, that you can control the sodium intake, that you could add spices to the way you like it and no one else can understand. So I say, go for it. So there. And it does actually equal savings. The other reason it equals savings is just think of it this way. By saving the effort and the time on the duplicate meal, you can devote that other time to either relaxing, spending time with the kids, kicking back with a movie, or being on the phone with a potential client that might make you some money. Just food for thought and pardon the pun. All right. Have a modified eating out night or two during the month. I would say never eat out. Never. I don't do that because that's not realistic. Life happens. Or you just may like your favorite pizzeria pizza because they make it in a way that no one else in the world does. And that's totally okay. That's better. And you can still go out and have the fun of eating out and not having a mess at home. And you eat there and you eat with enjoyment. It doesn't always have to be a five-star restaurant. Five-star restaurant people are more than likely probably not watching this video. If you are, then thank you. But just saying, it is a great way to save. And actually, it's kind of like painless, totally. So, oh, and regarding those pizza places, I noticed the pattern. There are certain times of the week where you might get better deals. Research that in your local area to find out if you can save. I thought I had written an additional tip. Oh, okay, I did. I scrolled it. I'm running low on books, so I have to buy some books next week. Um, okay, back to transit for a minute. If you could save money on transportation, if you could do something, you know, by working from home and instead of driving to a meeting and have a virtual meeting. I know people are fed up with things because of last year, but virtual meetings work. Virtual meetings saves you a ton of car fare, airfare, time, effort, energy. And if you could get the same job done with a virtual online meeting, I say go for it. We have the technology today. We do. So using virtual as much as you can save you a lot of money in traveling, not to mention time away from your family. So these are just ideas, okay? Okay. And by the way, just saying, if you have any of those like summer parties, like the barbecue type thing, if you're on the budget, hamburgers and frankfurters does the trick. You don't have to go for the steaks. Burgers, hot dogs, a nice dessert, nice cold drinks, soda, whatever you like that you can afford. You work with that unless you can't afford it. Always live within your means. There you go. I hope that these tips will help, and I know they will help. Even if they help one person out there, I did my job today. There you go. In the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for viewing. Why? Because I really do appreciate you. Don't forget to come back in the future for some more tips and tricks. Have an amazing, fantastic day. Goodbye.